The Administrative Fellowship Program is actually a strategy to ensure that we're delivering on our patient promise. Using this model to grow new leaders, and we look nationally at all Master's Prepare accredited programs to look at the brightest and the best in terms of bringing them to Guthrie and to our communities to really deliver on the leadership needs. Their program is designed in a way that their first year, they actually go through a series of experiences. They have strategic work that's assigned to them. They'll have an inpatient experience, an outpatient experience, a quality experience, and also a foundational business experience where they will work with those leaders across our organization in terms of really driving outcomes. It's about evidence that there's outcomes based upon a business need. So that really comprises their first year so that they have an opportunity to really understand who we are as an organization, part one. But two, they develop really meaningful relationships across the enterprise in terms of culture, policies, procedures, systems, processes. And then the second year is actually a one-year assignment. So again, there's an advisory board that actually manages this program and really matches up the talents and the needs of the fellow with what the needs of the organization is. And they're assigned a system-wide, a strategic project for a year in which that we will continue to grow, develop, and coach them so that after their second year, they're prepared to be very competitive for a leadership position here at Guthrie. Guthrie has actually had a long-standing fellowship program that has served us well over time. And as a matter of fact, one of our senior executives, Stacy Thompson, is a graduate of our fellowship program. What we've realized based upon, again, the changes in healthcare and the complexity in healthcare, we needed to retool the program from a one-year fellowship to a two-year to really ensure that those leaders, one, had an experience in terms of what does it mean to be an integrated health system, and give them the exposures that they needed to do so in terms of what does it mean to be Guthrie. And then part two would be to ensure that they also have some meaningful experiences.
The Administrative Fellowship Program really stood out as far as other ones because of its two-year structure. So the first year is really designed to make sure that you have a rotational experience around all the different facets of the system. And then your second year, you're able to have a more individualized development plan based off of your feedback given from your first year.
This fellowship program has allowed me to grow in multiple different ways to really kind of have a wider scope of preparation. So preparation in terms of professional development, in terms of potential roles that I could take, and then also just as a person.
Well, the development process that fellows go through is really threefold. So I think about it in terms of education, exposure and coaching, and some experience. So there's an educational component that they will all go through. Obviously, they've come to the Guthrie Clinic with an education, but there's other education that's specific to the Guthrie Clinic that we need them to get. So, we look at that as 10% of what they do is an education. The exposure across the organization, again, to the different components and operations within the Guthrie Clinic is really important. And they get coaching not only from preceptors or from key leaders across the organization, but also from the folks who own the fellowship program. That's really important. That probably makes up 20% of that competency. But what they really get, and what's the really biggest thing in terms of how you develop a fellow, is the absolute experience and how we set them up for success across the organization by looking at very targeted projects, again, that have a defined outcome, that are really designed to enhance and help what we do with the patients, what we do and for patients' families, our co-workers, and even how we are perceived in the community.
One of the great things about the fellowship here at Guthrie is the mentorship that is available. So within each of our rotations, we are paired with an executive sponsor and preceptor that really serve as that mentor role through our projects. So they're there as a resource for anything that's needed, which really allows for us as fellows to build relationships, both personally and professionally across the organization.
This is a really important program for Guthrie. All would agree that healthcare is complex. It is evolving. It is changing at such a rapid pace that we really need to have a caliber of leader who can continue to move our organization forward. This is a pipeline program to infuse that talent in our organization to continue to move us forward in an environment that's ever changing and it is very dynamic.